Hello, and welcome to another day of NGS action. Now today we are going with Div E, and I swear I'm not biased, but Trial by Annihilation versus Crimson Cyber Squad. Now I was saying I swear I'm not biased because I believe this is the third or fourth series of CCS that I'm casting, but our schedules just happen to line up perfectly, so that's why that's happening. I can assure you, no extra help is coming through there. But before we get into the game, let's take a look at the standings for Division E. It is a smaller division with a double round robin. Now, Crimson Cyber Squad still at 0 points, yet to win a single map. Trial by Annihilation sitting at 3 points right now. So they're also not doing too hot. This is the two bottom of the table teams for Division E. But that just means that we're going to have a close game. Now I'm going to start speeding ahead because it looks like both these teams are basically ready. But we have the map picks and bans done. Forgot to update my thing. And Trial by Annihilation, they selected map pick. They banned Tomb of the Spider Queen and Brax's Holdout, while CCS banned Full Sky Foundry and Infernal Shrines. But map number 1 is going to be Towers of Doom. So that's where we're going to be going for that first map. It's an old-time favorite of mine to watch this map because I think it has a very solid mix of macro victories and just teamfight victories. And I think because of the size of the map and the fact that you can't just shove everything in, you can't rely on just waves pushing in for you. At all points, you have to defend. It opens up a lot of opportunities for fights. And because of that, I really enjoy, well, casting it and watching it and all that. But we should be heading into the game shortly. But before we start, I would like to give a quick shout out to Match Masters, the sponsor of today's stream. Exclamation Masters in chat, or click the link in the panel down below. Hit the goals on the stream to help support your local caster. And it looks like I timed that perfectly because we are going to be heading into draft. In one moment anyway. All right, and we are in. It's going to be Trial by Annihilation versus Crimson Cyber Squad on Towers of Doom. The Towers of Doom, main things to note. For the most part, you will be seeing the strat of a double soaker offlaner into a 4-core over in the bot lane. Now, not everyone always follows that, but that is most likely what we're going to be seeing. And because of that, having quick clear speed is very important to the offlaners. So heroes like Leoric, Dehaka, definitely going to be very popular, and at the same time having potentially some extra global presence from something like Brightwing or Falstad could help, though it's not quite as necessary or as impactful as it would be on maps like Cursed Hollow or Gardens of Terror. But now the first few bans are going to be coming through. CCS going to ban away the Jaina, and Trial by Annihilation going to ban away the Joanna. So Mage for Tank going to be the very first choice. And then Sonya going to get banned away by CCS. And Sonya's an interesting pick for Towers of Doom because, like I said, when I was talking about my favorite parts of the map, fighting is one of the ways to win. Now, Sonya is worse when it comes to double soaking. Definitely doesn't have the clear speed or the movement speed to get between lanes as fast as like a Dehaka or a Leoric or even a Zul'jin would be able to do. But when it comes to team fighting, Sonya is really strong. And if she's also able to kill the offlane counterpart, doesn't matter how slow your push is, because it's always going to be faster than someone who is stuck in base waiting to respawn. Stukov going to be the final ban for Trial by Annihilation. And first pick is going to be going over towards CCS. Now I'm wondering what they're going to pick here. And it looks like Code Monkey is going to go for the Brightwing. Right wing, like I said, has that global presence, has the phase shift, is able to kind of move around very quickly and very easily, and kind of help the off lane with the pressure if there is a 1v1 fight starting up there. And especially once the altars start spawning, especially the triple altar combo, that's where it really comes into play. Now Keldorn going to lock in the Garrosh, and Kawaii Bunny going to pick Anduin. So we already have the tank healer combo coming from Trial by Annihilation. Now Anduin doesn't have as easy a light bomb selection with Garrosh, because Garrosh needs to get close anyway to do the combo. So I would like to see a second option for Anduin to be able to get the light bomb combo off. But even without it, Anduin's a good healer, able to provide a lot of safety. So even if they don't decide to have a specific light bomb combo, still a very solid healer to pick up. But now Gorham going to lock in the Dahaka, and Tunley going to be back on the Muradin. So lots of HP on the side of Crimson Cyber Squad. Could potentially open up for a potential Tychus angle, Lavala, anything that has one of those max percent HPs. But Vala actually going to get banned by Trial of Annihilation. And it's going to be interesting to watch Garrosh try and fight into this too. I think Garrosh should be doing a pretty good job. It's a very solid tank to pick into the likes of Dahaka Muradin. Not going to be able to get pushed around by them, but at the same time, not going to be able to really push them around. So it's a pretty even pick. But if they're able to get on the backline, can definitely get a lot of value out of it. Blaze going to be the next ban coming out of Crimson Cyber Squad. And Leoric going to get locked in for Sparhawk. And the Zul'jin for J Trinja. Okay, so Leoric, pretty standard offlaner, good wave clear. I talked about him a lot already. But the Zul'jin's going to be very interesting to watch. Also pretty good at killing tanks if they do go the attack build. But it seems right now that Zul'jin's kind of picked as a pseudo caster. Obviously still has a lot of damage from basic attacks, but the Twin Cleave is really where the DPS comes out. Now final picks for CCS. Chromie and Genji. The two big DPSs coming out. Now Xerx on the Chromie will be able to poke a lot. And Chromie's one of those few mages that can be used as a primary DPS. Kind of like in place of a Vala or a Tychus. It's very consistent, easy to hit DPS coming out of Chromie. Now Orion on the Genji. Not quite the same. That will be the, as you call it, the flex pick coming out for CCS. And final pick for Trial by Annihilation will be the Gul'dan for Flippy 8. And I was saying earlier, I wanted to see a light bomb combo. The Leoric is definitely going to be able to help with that a lot. I like both of these two team compositions. I think that Crimson Cyber Squad has a bit of an easier time moving around the map, but for this map doesn't necessarily mean as much as we head into game number 1. And we are still loading into map number 1 between Trial by Annihilation and Crimson Cyber Squad. But here we are. We are in game number 1. And we are ready for some hot action on this beautiful Monday night, wherever you are located. Even if it's the daytime and the weather is not beautiful. It's beautiful anyway, because it's beautiful to me. Now both teams look like they're planning on sending all 5 members towards the mid lane. And it is going to be Recklessness as the first talent coming out for J Trinja. So that does point to me that it is going to be the pseudo-caster Zul'jin. And I do think that is the best build right now. It deals a bit more damage overall. The auto attacks have just gotten buffed to begin with. So I like that. I like that option. But now all 10 players meeting up in the mid lane. Gonna be able to scout them out, but no aggressive play is going to be coming out here quite yet. Now both sides are just going to be trying to shove this in. Xerx as well, just trying to poke it out, but Gul'dan, you're not going to be able to outpush the Fell Flame and the Corruption. Gul'dan is extremely good at pushing, and that's why we kind of see Gul'dan picked in other maps where that's more important, such as Brax's Holdout. And with that, Trial by Annihilation, they do have the first move. And Keladorn trying to get in the way, prevent them from coming to the bot lane and picking up any of the soak. So they do miss just a little bit of the soak. Not going to matter too much quite yet, but could add up later on. And now it is going to be that traditional 4v4 in the bot lane, whereas Gorm's in the top side, Spearhawk going to be rotating up there too. And now the Sapper Camps have spawned, and Crimson Cyber Squad, they're on theirs immediately. Code Monkey and Orion going to be DPSing onto that, while Tunley's just waiting in the bush, making sure they don't get invaded. Now, same is going to be said by Trial by Annihilation. They do have 3 members pushing it in, because Crimson Cyber Squad did leave Extrix to catch the AXP over in the bot lane. Able to get the time trap onto Keladorn, and with the Dragon's Breath, we'll be able to get a little bit of poke damage. Not going to matter too much. It is the Garrosh, so it has more armor the lower HP they get. But now the 2 Sapper Camps are going to start meeting over in this bot lane. Now, will either of these 2 teams be able to get this shoved in and get the true value out of them? I think it'll definitely be a bit more difficult for Crimson Cyber Squad as they're able to get Tunley rooted in the backline. But the cleanse will come out from Code Monkey. Phase shift as well, and Tunley will be okay. But that is phase shift down, and the cleanse down as well. Code Monkey trying to walk forward, pick up the orb. Not going to be able to, but Keladorn looking for a play. Able to throw Orion in the back, and they have the Chastise combo, but the deflect is going to be coming back. Able to deal a little bit of damage backwards. But Orion going to get hit by the Groundbreaker, and that's going to be first blood going to Trial by Annihilation. Tunley's still a little bit low, but there aren't any more cooldowns to follow up on that. But first blood for Trial, and onto Orion no less. Definitely a very difficult character to pin down. But on Garrosh, it does get a lot easier. It's difficult to play Genji into Garrosh because of that. If the Groundbreaker lands, or if the Wrecking Ball is up and you're just too close to the Garrosh, we'll be able to cancel the deflect and combo you out. Now, the next Siege Camp's not going to be spawning for 1 more minute, but the altars are going to be spawning in 8 seconds now. Looks like Orion's going to be grouping up towards the top side, but the real fight's going to be happening over to this bot. And Keladorn looking for the play, able to throw Extrix back, but now Jay Trinja just trying to get a couple autos on Tunley. But Keladorn starting to get a bit low. Phase shift is going to come out in time, but Code Monkey's also on. The Groundbreaker is going to land. Code Monkey will get taken down. But now Orion is here trying to prevent this second altar from getting taken. It is 1-2-1 right now, 4 HP each, and it does look like Trial by Annihilation will be able to secure this one. It's Kawaii Bunny and Flippy 8 will get the extra 4 damage onto the core, so 36 to 32. Now the XP lead also is slowly but surely growing. There's about a 3rd level lead right now for Trial by Annihilation. Definitely not something that means too much quite yet, but if they can keep growing it, if they can keep sustaining it, could definitely provide more meaning later on. Level 7 talents now hit by Trial by Annihilation. However, Crimson Cyber Squad going to be getting theirs right now as well. Now Keladorn looking in the backline, able to throw back Extrix, and they have the Groundbreaker. Chastise going to land as well, but they will have the phase shift. Extrix will be okay. Now Jay Trinja starting to get a bit low. Same with Keladorn. 1 more hit and will get taken down by Orion. Now Flippy 8 also in a pretty bad spot in terms of HP. But they will be able to back away and get a kill back for themselves and kind of close that XP lead. Siege Camp is back up, so both teams just going to collect their Sapper Camps after that play. So that's a good equalizer coming out from CCS. Now in the offlane, not going to spend too much time watching them, but just got to make sure we give them the attention they deserve as Gorm lands a drag. And Tunley was looking for a bit of an invade over towards this bot side. However, the Sapper Camp has already been taken, but now Kawaii Bunny gonna get jumped upon. Stormhammer not gonna be able to go through yet. Slowing Sands are up as well. Level 8 has been hit by Trial by Annihilation. They are bringing the rest of the team down. However, Crimson Cyber Squad definitely gonna have first move there. And if they're able to continue pushing this, might even be able to get the Sappers to land, but Keladorn definitely does not want to allow that to happen. They are positioning very aggressively to try and take down the Sapper Camp. But because of that, they're gonna have second move towards these altars. Now Gorm's gonna start channeling onto theirs, and Sparhawk gonna be channeling it for Trial by Annihilation. So it is going to be another 4 for 4 damage, 32 to 28 now, as both teams are slowly just trying to scale up right now, not trying to force any fights that would be out of position. However, they are bringing multiple members up to the top. TBA looking up top, able to get onto Gorham. Then with the Wrecking Ball over to the backline in stasis, so is able to run away a little bit. The Chastise is going to land, but still a lot of HP. And with the wall, Gorham will be okay. But because they weren't able to get that kill, that's going to be a lot of damage done over to this bot lane. The one cannon tower already gone. The other one starting to follow. The rest of the team is starting to run down. However, Jay Churnja did stay to take down the siege camp over in the top lane. Now, if they were able to get that kill, it could have been worth it altogether. But now Kawaii Bunny in a bad spot is going to get polymorphed. An X-Strike over top will be more than enough damage. Caledorn going to follow, and that's a 2-for-0 for CCS. Able to get those pickoffs. Now, level 10s have been hit for them as well. Trial by Annihilation going to be able to get it right now. Corruption over top just to help wave clear and to help poke them down. But the entire bot lane wall will be finished off here. Now, the Sapper camp over on the top side, some of it has hit. It's just going to be this one final camp. And will be able to take down the top cannon tower. And now they have the stun. They have the Stormhammer. Sparhawk going to go down as well. And it's 4-2 in kills for Crimson Cyber Squad. 20 seconds until the next altar spawns. No talent advantage for CCS though. And it is the Leoric, so we'll be able to respawn pretty quickly. They have the Slowing Sands over top as well. And Dragon's Breath doing so much damage. Suddenly going forward. And they have the Slash. But the Dome is going to the ultimate. And the taunt coming on to everyone. And with the extra entomb, they're just able to keep them all within it. Now Sparhawk still walking forward. Tunley at 100 HP. No one can get onto them though. But now it's going to be Xterx is the choice they go for. And Xterx will go down. Gorham able to get the Dragon. Sparhawk starting to get a little bit low, but will be able to survive as Orion goes down too. And it's a 4-for-0 for Trial by Annihilation. They'll get the altar. They're going to steal the siege camp. And they're going to have an extra 4 HP advantage on this play. Now Tunley going to get poked down a little bit. And wouldn't be too safe to walk down to try and defend the siege camp. So we'll just back away. But that's a huge victory for them, as they were slowly starting to fall behind in lane pressure. But now all of them have come back up. Tunley starting to run over towards the bot side. Xterx going to be here as well. And Jay Churnja may be in a weird spot, but there's no DPS follow-up quite yet. But now Tunley going to get thrown into the backline. But Code Monkey is there with the Glens. The taunts coming through. Phase shift onto Tunley. Just going to be there in time, but still not enough. Tunley's going to get taken down by Flippy 8. And that's why you pick the Garrosh. Garrosh is able to provide so many burst options for you. If Caledorn is able to walk up to basically anyone, they even proved it. It could even be Tunley. They have more than enough DPS to follow up onto the play. And now the Corruption getting a little bit of poke on Orion as they're forced to dash away. And the bottom wall is going to get taken down this time by Trial by Annihilation. Flippy going to get hit by the X-Strike. Orion just going to be using that for poke damage. And now they have been able to defend their bell tower, so they're not going to be losing that quite yet. As Orion's still walking forward to get a little bit of poke down. But it is different. It is difficult. It's scary to get near Caledorn. And Caledorn, whenever they land the Groundbreaker, they always turn that into a play. As Orion going to get tossed into the backline, but does get thrown into the one step. And now they do have the stun on Flippy 8. Flippy 8 trying to play in the backline, but Caledorn is just trying to peel away. Orion could not follow up because of Caledorn. And now Gorham looking for the bot play. Does not have an angle for drag. And it is just the one altar. Even talent here right now from both teams. But if CCS can wait till 14. Oh, but Code Monkey's the one that gets caught. And Code Monkey gets thrown to the back. But Blink healed to get away. Caledorn in a bad spot. But the Dome gets selected once again. And they're all healing up back to full. Tazdingo coming out. Just trying to DPS on the Code Monkey. But with the Slowing Sands, not going to be able to stay too long. Caledorn going to get taken down. Same with the Zul'jin. And now Flippy 8 going to be running away. But it's Sparhawk alone. But with the Leap of Faith, Sparhawk will be able to get away. Has the Wraith Walk as well. And another phase shift is coming up, but they do land the drag this time around, and the Stormhammer. Flippy 8 going to get taken out as well. Chastise lands, but it's too little too late. It's a 3-for-0 for CCS. They're able to get the altar as well, and that's another 4 DPS onto the core of Trial by Annihilation. And with the amount of numbers they have here, they could try and finish this off. It's a little bit early in the game, so these forts, or these bell towers, are still quite strong. The deflect is coming out, and they have the Dragon's Breath. Just need a couple more autos, and yes, they will be able to take this. The first bell tower going over to CCS, and they have the siege camp to fight for here. Xterx and Orion are a little bit low on mana right now, and Orion low on HP. But they are still able to hit onto it for now. It definitely gets a little bit scarier when you don't have Code Monkey here for the extra heals. But they are just going to secure their own siege camp, as Tunley's gonna walk back to the bell tower and maybe try to defend it. I think it would be difficult to go in, and actually pops the avatar ahead of time. Gonna get taunted in the backline. But Tunley going to be okay, just going to walk it out. They have the Stormhammer as well. And now the Horrify does land onto the backline. Dragon's Breath, though, hitting onto Caledorn. But Caledorn will be able to get healed back up. So just a free pick for Trial by Annihilation. Very well played to manage that aggro. Now the Bell Tower is going to go back in favor of TBA. But both teams are at level 16. The XP advantage overall in favor of CCS, but it's 5v4. The Entomb does that on Code Monkey, has the Blink heal to get away. Now the Dragon's Breath gonna do a little bit of poke damage, but the play is done. It is going to be the big heroic ability used. The Entomb's not going to be there for when the altars spawn, but with the extra numbers, they could just try and go for the play anyway. But now Gorham might be trying to sneak this. Exorc's gonna be here as well. They're looking at Sparhawk. And we'll have the Dragon's Breath and the Dragon. And so much damage coming out from those two. And now Sparhawk trying to cancel it, but is just going to get taken down, as Code Monkey will be able to get the 4 damage from the top side, and Tunley will be able to get it from the top right side. Now this was traded by TBA from the bottom angle, so it is going to be 20-20. But now they're starting on the boss, but the entire squad of TBA is here. So they're going to back away. Now Caledorn trying to walk forward is going to get polymorphed into the stun, and so much damage on the Egg Strike to finish it off, as Orion able to get the kill. Now Orion still chasing on to Jay Trindra, but will have the Leap of Faith for protection. But they do land the drag, and it's going to be on to Flippy 8, and Flippy 8 will get taken down. The Horrify has been cast up. Can they follow up on anything? No. Now Sparhawk is going to reset, but it's still 5v3 on the map. The boss is up, and it looks like CCS want to take it down for themselves. This will be 4 damage onto the core and a little bit of XP to boot as well. But in the meanwhile, the Sapper Camp is getting taken. And now with the Entomb going to be used, but it's just Tunley. But Tunley has the Avatar, has the Phase Shift, will be safe. The Sapper Camp is going to get finished off. Gorham looking for the drag, but no angle to get it on. The Sapper Camp is not going to be able to land onto anything, so they will be able to clear it away. So boss for Sapper Camp. It will at least even out a little bit of that XP deficit from it, but that's really a groundbreaker. Not going to land. Caledorn could be looking for a play, but it's only Tunley in range for the Wrecking Ball. Now Flippy 8 also back in, so all 10 members are back on the field. Caledorn looking for the play, able to hit onto Orion, but Caledorn is alone. Gotta go unstoppable, and the Corruption dealing a lot of poke damage on the backline. So it is hard to chase with the Fell Flame and Corruption, making it very difficult to walk through those choke points. But now they seem to be pushing in from TBA to take down this bottom Belfort. But can they fight for it? Tunley looking for a play. Gorham also trying to prevent the Mexer, starting to get a little bit low on mana, but will have that little health orb. But Caledorn looking for Extrix, able to find Extrix, and Extrix is kind of stuck in the backline, gonna get taunted, will get taken out, but there's another fight happening over on the top side. Sparhawk already taken out about half HP. Tunley looking for the play. It's 4v5, and Horrify gonna get utilized on the backline. Entomb as well, but Gorham gonna get healed with the face shift. Tunley still trying to tank over on the front line, but they just don't have enough DPS without Extrix. Now Caledorn at half HP. They're going to throw Tunley into the backline, and Tunley going to get taken down with the Fell Flame. And that's going to be another 4 damage going the way of CCS. So it's going to be 16-12 now, and we're starting to head closer to that end game. If there's a 3 altar spawn, it could be it. If Trial by Annihilation's able to get a big teamfight victory, they could just end the game there. Now level 20 has been hit, so Piercing Sands going to be the final talent choice for Extrix. But they're also on TBA going to be able to take the bottom bell tower. DCS trying to trade it for the top side and maybe then rotate backwards, but it's going to be difficult for them. They only just took down the wall, and Orion, Genshi's able to deal a decent amount of damage, but isn't quite as good at taking down buildings. But now Extrix going to be clearing away this mid lane, and with the Piercing Sands, should have a lot better clear compared to before that level 18 talent. But now Sparhawk is here. Gonna get polymorphed immediately, and they're able to get the dragon. Just a lot of damage onto the Sparhawk, and they actually going to be able to finish off the bell tower. So it's going to be 4 for 4 bell towers across the map, including the core, I guess. 4 damage per hit. But now level 20 has been hit by CCS, so they do have a bit of a talent advantage right now. And the squad is starting to run bot. It's going to be 5v3 for a little while, but they do have protection there, so it will be hard to dive with these uneven numbers. Now Flippy 8 walking forward, so much damage with the corruption, as now Gorm gets thrown to the back line. Polymorph lands as well, and a lot of burst damage, but it is onto Keladorn. Keladorn not the target they want, but that will be able to give them a little bit more pressure so they can start shoving in this bot lane. But it's still going to be so difficult for them. They're getting a little bit of damage with the Sandblast and with the Dragon's Breath onto it. They're going to need a lot more abilities to land here before they can fill with it. But the Earthshatter Groundbreaker does land. Keladorn gonna get Polymorph, horrified to keep the healer away now. Tomlin gonna get low and will get taken down before... I know the Avatar did pop. That's just so much burst damage. And now it's going to be 4 for 4 damage going both ways. Now Jay Trinja going to be able to snipe Code Monkey in the backline. And now Xtrix also gets taken down low. That's going to be a 2-for-0 for a TBA. The Dome just gonna get thrown for the healing, and it's a very short cooldown if you do get the Light of Stormwind talent. Gotta lower it by, I believe it's 60 seconds? Yeah, 60 whole seconds. Now Xtrix is kind of low. Gorm behind enemy lines, but going to go into stasis. They're not able to get the Wrecking Bar right away, but they're able to follow up with it. And Gorm will get taken down as well. And now they do have the Sappers walking forward. They may not be able to defend this. Orion and Xtrix do not have the HP. And the Twin Cleave almost enough to get the hit. So now the core is down to 6 HP, and Sparhawk in the meanwhile is taking back that top lane bell tower. Actually going to get quite low and will get taken down by the bell tower. So it is going to be a 3v4 for a little bit and then 4v4, but with the phase shift we'll be able to get back into play very quickly. And now TBA, they're looking to take down this mid lane bell tower as well. They have the pacing on the map. They have the advantages that they need. Now the bot lane also going to get reverted back. But I think overall this definitely does favor Trial by Annihilation as they're starting onto the boss. And with this, they're only going to need 1 more HP worth of damage. Any altar after this boss will win them the game. Any little bit of DPS will do it. So what HP left on CCS? Can they bring this back? It is possible because with this altar, if they're able to win it, if they're able to get 1 more altar later on, or 1 or 2 more altars later on, could be enough for them to win the game. But it is going to be respawning here. Gorm is already here, ready to play the defense. Walking forward. Just going to be trying to get in the way. Tunley's here as well. Now they have the stun onto Keladorn. Keladorn able to get the taunt onto them. But with the cleanse, they're going to be okay for now. And now X-Strike over onto everyone. But the protection's coming out. The Dome is here. The health is back. And everything is for naught. And CBA still trying to play forward. But Flippy gonna get low. But into the fray. Going to be used defensively. And just so much DPS happening on both sides, but no one's able to finish everyone off as Sparhawk will be the first to go down. Keladorn and Jay Trinja are going to be getting hit by the Dragon's Breath, but over on the top side, Flippy trying to walk away. It's just going to be Orion versus Flippy, and Orion will lose that fight. But in the meanwhile, in the bot lane, they're still hitting Tazdang. We're going to get popped right now. And the Sandblast dealing so much DPS that being able to go through everyone. The Piercing Sands doing so much damage. Kawaii Bunny and Jay Trinja both going to get sniped by Xtrix. And Jay Trinja will walk away, is trying to heal up, and now they're going to be down. Jay Trinja going to be the last one here and will follow. It's a 5-for-2 for CCS. And with that, they will be able to get this altar. It will deal 5 whole damage. So they're down to 7 HP and they could start taking the siege camps. They could get this map shoved in. Sparhawk going to be the first to respawn, as is Leoric's right. But what an insane fight. That Dome of Protection was so close to being able to swing the fight back around, but both these teams just trying to fight it out, just trying to show their mechanical prowess into each other's squads. And it was just a matter of inches that CCS was able to win that fight. But now the next fight is going to be happening towards the bot lane. There are 2 altars spawning here. So no matter what, either of these 2 teams can win the game. If CCS is able to get both altars, they win. If Trial by Annihilation gets it, if they can get even 1, they win. So it's really going to be up to these 2 teams. How much can they get? How much can they defend? How can they fight this? Trial by Annihilation definitely has a couple more options since they can split it up. And they only need the 1. Now Xtrix looking for the play. Keladorn going to get polymorphed. No follow-up quite yet. Sparhawk going to get poked down quite low, actually. with the last Sandblast not landing, able to use the Wraith Walk in time. But now the Entomb is going to be coming out. It is just going to be onto the Dahaka, and now Keldor gonna get hit, but there is the Dome. With the Dome, they're still gonna be okay. The Groundbreaker just gonna be used to throw them away. Gorham walking out, but it's a 1-0. Sparhawk will get taken out as Flippy 8 getting sniped a little bit by that Sandblast. And now 15 seconds, it will be a 4v5. Now Sparhawk should be able to respawn a little bit faster than normal, but they have been able to push in the waves. They're looking towards the altars. Sparhawk still looking. 30 seconds until the respawn. Tunley just trying to get in the way, but they will get the stun, and they could look for the fight, but they're not looking for it quite yet. Tunley looking for the other edge. They see Flippy 8 able to get the stun. Yes, they do land the Stormhammer, and that's a big target. They're able to get on Flippy 8. Flippy 8 gonna get saved, and the Dome is there to keep them alive, but now Keldor gonna get stunned in front of the Dome and will get burst down. Jay Turner still trying to auto, and Sparhawk will come back very momentarily. But Code Monkey still on the back line. Tunley going forward. Taz Dingo's gonna get popped. But with the X-Strike, will have enough damage. No, Jay Turner able to walk away. And Sparhawk has the Entomb on the back line and will be running away. But no, actually walking in. Tunley gonna get healed with the phase shift. And they're still trying to DPS onto each other. Sparhawk just able to survive. Gets the heal last second. 300 HP, 400 HP, but will get taken down. But they're able to get Code Monkey. No healer left for CCS. Gotham still trying to fight. Jay Turner no longer has a Taz Dingo, will get finished off as well. And now it's just Flippy 8 as Orion gets taken. And Kawaii Buddy and Flippy 8, the last survivors, will get taken down. And I think CCS did it. CCS are going to get their first map win of the season. And what a long fight. Sparhawk had 2 lives in that team fight. The Garrosh is almost back, but they did it. CCS will win game number 1. As we watch the final hits blow up the core. Well, how's that as an ending for a game number 1? Definitely a very close one. I mean, a CCS won with just 1 HP left to their name, but they were able to fight it out. They were able to continue the DPS last minute as they needed it. And because of that, they're going to be able to take themselves their first win of the season. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it's going to be game number 2, and hopefully it'll be just as intense. Don't go anywhere. Except you, Umster. You might have a cast starting soon. Everyone else ignore that, though. Welcome back, everyone, and sorry for the delay. But one of the players did have to step out for a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We are here. We are starting game number 2, Trial by Annihilation versus Crimson Cyber Squad at Sky Temple. And now it is going to be map selected by TBA, so CCS once again going to have first pick for the draft. On Sky Temple, it's a map near and dear to my heart. It is one that last season with over 100 maps casted. I never got to cast at all. But this is the second one this season, so the curse is finally broken. But Jaina going to be the first ban coming out from CCS. Just trying to get rid of the mage. And the first ban from TBA is going to be the Brightwing. So Code Monkey going to be forced onto a different healer for this game number 2. What I do find interesting about this map specifically is Sky Temple is one of those maps where you never have to go into the enemy half at all, and you could still win the game. Technically, Towers of Doom is the same, but it is a lot harder to win without doing that. But Sky Temple, no problem at all. Now Rhaegar going to be the second ban coming out from CCS. And they're going to get rid of another healer. I don't believe Rhaegar was banned in game number 1, so this is going to be a little bit of a different draft adjustment. But Dahaka is still left open for now if Gorham wants to pick that up as a first pick. Yeah, Joanna going to be the next ban coming out from TBA. Now, first pick goes the Wave CCS, and I'm wondering what they're going to go. I think Dahaka could be a very solid pick, but they're going to go with the Anduin for Code Monkey. So with that, they're going to have the Leap of Faith, either Dome or Light Bomb. Either one of those options is quite good. Anduin definitely has some of the best heroic talents in the game, in my opinion. I think there's like really no wrong answer. I don't think any other hero in this game has two such identically powerful tools. Obviously, Light Bomb, sometimes more useful in competitive format. It does offer up a new engage, especially when you do have the communication. But still, Dome in the right situations is extremely powerful, as we even saw in the last game. But now, Secret Swift gonna lock into Haka, as Jay Trincha gonna lock in the Vala. And it does seem like we had... I just noticed the last second that we had a substitution. So Sparhawk is going to go back onto the bench for game 2, and Secret Swift is going to come in. Now, I don't know too much about Trial by Annihilation, but it very well could be one of those teams that just has a roster of 6 or maybe even 7 players that constantly rotate in. Like I always say, I see a lot of those in NGS. So, but going to be interesting to see a different offlaner coming in this time for TBA. I've definitely fallen behind on the draft, but Xterx logging the fall stat, Tunley on the Varian, and that's going to be the Taunt Varian. And Jay Trindra has the Vala. Trial by Annihilation banned Chromie, and Crimson Cyber Squad banned the Garrosh. And the Garrosh, I completely understand. Celadorn had so much pressure with that Garrosh last game. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get to play it in future series either, if anyone watches the tapes for that game. Now Stukov getting it locked in for Kawaii Bunny. And Flippy 8 going to be on the Kelthus. So all they're lacking right now for TBA is the tank, as Gorham actually going to lock in the Blaze for the offlane. Very solid offlaner, has very good clear speed, and should be able to stay alive and just soak the damage on these points. I actually forget what these points are called. Just goes to show how often I cast Sky Temple. And Orphea, 9th pick coming in for Orion. That's a very, very interesting pick. And there's no blinds on the side of Trial by Annihilation. Lurking Arm could be a pain point. Both Leap of Faith. This actually is a very solid Orphea game. It's going to be a little bit difficult, though, because Vala is pretty mobile as a carry, and Dahaka has very fast base movement speed. So it might be a little bit difficult to hit the waltz, but is possible. I actually really like Orphea here, so, and that's an interesting character to watch, very entertaining to play and to cast, so looking forward to that. And the final pick going to be ETC for Celadorn. And with that, we have our 2 drafts. Once again, I don't think I really favor any one of these 2 drafts. They're pretty even. So it's just going to come down to the play and to the will of these teams as we head to game number 2. All right, and we are loading into game number 2, Sky Temple, between Trial by Annihilation and Crimson Cyber Squad. And like I always say, I don't really get to cast this map too often. So now, I believe more often than not, it's just single lane for the offlaners just playing towards that top side. And then the 4 core takes these bottom 2 lanes. I may be wrong and may be a double soak game as well. And especially when you have the Dahaka and the Blaze, double soak is always possible. Basically on any map. Even large maps like Dragonshire. Now both teams gonna start grouping towards the middle. And once again, all 10 players are going to be going there. And interestingly enough, it is Frequent Flyer, the auto attack build, coming out from Xterx. And I think that does make sense when you have the Orphea. Orphea is kind of... I mean, they both auto attack and deal magic damage. But Orphea's auto attacks are kind of more meant for the magic damage. But now Keladorn going to use the power slide to get in. But Flippier taking a decent amount of damage on the backline. Jump propulsion lands on a 3. But that's going to be the end of the play. And to go back to talents for a little bit, it is the Hungering Arrow build, at least to start with, coming out for Jay Trinja. Now Orion's still looking for the play. And I always forget the ability. It's something Waltz. Shadow Waltz, that's what it is. Chomp and Dread. Okay, but so far, bot lane, it is going to be 4-on-4 as a push is starting to come through. It is going to be a bit of a slower start for CCS. Because whenever you have the variant, you're not really a tank till game number 3 or till level 4 comes out. So until then, you do have to play a bit safe. Flippy almost gets hit by the Chastise, just barely able to walk out of its range. As Kawaii Bunny and Trinja gonna start onto their siege camp. As siege camp is gonna be taken down pretty soon, but Tunley and Orion looking for the play, able to hit some damage onto Flippy 8, but not too much. And now the other siege camp is getting hit by Code Monkey and Xterx. They already finished off the first one. It doesn't seem like they're going to get invaded, so they should be able to finish this one off safely. As Gorham will be doing the double soak. And in the bot lane, Orion just doing a little bit of poke. But now Tunley going to get jumped upon. Doesn't have level 4 tankiness yet. Will go to protect, but the Flame Strike going to be enough damage to get first blood for Trial by Annihilation. Now Flippy 8 starting to get a little bit low on mana, but obviously has that trait to get it back. Or instead... Oh, wait, no, sorry. I thought it... I don't know why. I thought Flippy 8 wasn't cooled down again. So they will have to reset. Flippy 8 should have the opportunity to come back. Since Tunley did get taken down, there is no numbers disadvantage. Now Code Monkey gonna get tossed back a little bit by the face melt, but will be overall okay. As Orion and Xterx gonna come to the mid lane and start shoving it out. Already 7 stacks on the Frequent Flyer and 2 stacks on the Puncturing Arrow. As we will continue keeping an eye on those 2 infinitely stacking abilities. Level 5's now coming out. So Tunley does have the taunt. Tunley is gonna be activated, looking for towards Jay Trinja. And what's interesting about that is, funnily enough, while Stukov is very good in paired with the variant, it's also not very good paired against the variant. Because one of the main advantages that other healers have over the Stukov is the cleanse. And Tunley not going to be able to get cleansed away, but now Tunley is getting jumped upon, has the protection, and will be able to just back away, but takes a good chunk of damage for that. Now the temples are spawning as the Bruiser camp does get finished off by the side of CCS. Now Tunley's trying to walk forward. They do know that they're currently on both these temples, but they're going to be walking forward. They're going to try and take over the top side for CCS. But Trial by Annihilation, they have control of the mid fully, and they got a couple of laser hits from the top side as well. So overall, big benefit to CCS for that. Now Flippy walking forward a little bit, gonna get hit by the Chastise. Do they have enough damage for the follow-up? And they do! They're going to be able to get the first kill for themselves. Now they have the taunt as well. Dread gonna land onto Keladorn, but no further follow-up. With that, they should be able to take control of this top side. Bruiser camp gonna get cleared away. As the final 5 hits going to hit towards mid, about a third of the HP left on that fort, and about half over on the top side. Trial by Annihilation, slight victory in terms of damage. However, CCS, slight victory in terms of XP, as they were also able to grab their Bruiser camp. However, now it's going to get matched by the side of Trial by Annihilation. They're going to get started on that immediately. This will make them a little bit slow tempo-wise, as now CCS is going to be able to get the push mid lane and even go bot to match into Swift. But instead of going to that, they're going to try taking away this siege camp. They should be able to kill it pretty quickly when the Chomp dealing so much damage. Just a couple more autos, and they will be able to steal this away. But now the rest of the squad is here. Flippy A gonna get hit by no taunt yet, but the taunt is gonna come and follow. Now Jay Trindra gonna be able to vault away as the drag does land to keep Tunley away. But now Keldorn in a bad spot. But with Leap of Faith, we'll be able to take them back. So they're able to steal away the camp. They're able to get a kill. And now they can take their own camp. Crimson Cyber Squad able to get a pretty solid win for themselves here. A little bit of damage even lands onto the fort from the stolen siege camp. Not too much, but every little bit adds up. And they also get the XP from the stolen camp. Now Gorm still pushing out this top side. Going to be able to clear away this bruiser camp. So not too much damage is going to be done there in the top side either. Now Ryan currently waiting in the brush, but no play to be had there. Now the siege camp is going to get cleared away, but now they're looking for the taunt onto Swift, but Swift will be able to just go invis, will be able to walk away. Decent amount of damage dealt by Ryan as well, but not enough to finish off the play. Now Keldorn gonna group up mid lane as well. A Secret Swift will walk back top. Now the temple is activating in 10 seconds, and Crimson Cyber Squad do have the initial positioning for it. They have the wave advantage as well. Tunley going to get Kawaii Bunny, but no follow-up available. Chastise was just a little bit out of range to start that play. Now, level 10s are hit. Level 10s are going to follow pretty soon for Trial by Annihilation, so this is only a very short temporary advantage, but it is enough to get this positioning. Now, Ryan's already going to be onto it, and they're getting the taunt onto Keldor and Light Bomb as well, but with the power slide, we'll be able to get away. But now Keldor's still getting hit, but has the mosh pit, and Swipe will push Gorm away. But now Secret Swift is on the back line, and they're hitting so much damage on Orion, but Orion going to be able to back away Chastise as well. And Secret Swift just doing so much damage on the backline, but in the other side of the fight, nothing's really happening too much quite yet. But Orion gonna get pulled away again, and the gust is gonna come out. Jet propulsion onto the backline, and Secret Swift gonna get taken down quite close, trying to heal up, trying to hide behind the wall and into the brush. And we'll be okay for now. The protection come out, and Secret Swift will be the first to go down. Bunker is utilized. Tunley's starting to get healed up, and with the protection, we'll be able to back away. Now the Chomp not going to land by Orion, but Orion is still fighting. And this entire time, the lasers have been hitting the fort of Trial by Annihilation. They have won the fight. It is 5v4 left, but the HP bars aren't favoring them. But now Flippier going to get hit with the taunt, but do they have any follow? The power slide and the face boot, they're all getting hit, and that's another 2 kills back. Extrix gonna get finished off as well, and in the return play, it's a 3-0 for Trial by Annihilation as they get the final few hits from the laser. And what another close team fight. We had the close fights in game number 1, and we're going to have them again in game number 2. But interestingly enough, Trial by Annihilation, they're going to be starting onto the boss camp immediately. I definitely would not be expecting this if I was on CCS. It is so early into the game, and because of that, they're going to be able to get it. There's no one here to contest onto it. There's no one here that can really prevent it. Orion's going to see it now, but it's a little bit too late. We'll have to start backing away. And the boss is gone. Now, it's not going to be too powerful of a boss, but because the wall isn't gone yet, it's going to be permanent damage over towards these structures. And on a map like Sky Temple, where any damage at all is going to greatly increase the pace of the game in terms of being able to end earlier. And now they're all trying to DPS onto it, but the wall is going to get finished off, and a decent amount of poke onto this fort as well. And with that, they're going to be able to close the structure lead just a little bit from CCS. Neither side has lost their first fort yet, though, and that's when the game really begins to open up. But massive wave grouping towards the bottom. Keldorn tries to go in and does have the mosh, but they have the light bomb over the backline to cancel it. And with the gust and leap of faith, will be okay. Phoenix is going to get utilized just to poke them out, but they also managed to take the camp before they got engaged upon by Keldorn. But with that, their bottom fort is really low. Living Bomb going to land onto Orion, but will get healed back up. But now Keldorn is going to go in. Does get taunted by the Flame Strike, doing so much damage on the backline. But Extrix able to use the barrel roll just before the Lurking Arm comes out from Trial by Annihilation. But they are starting to get a little bit low. Extrix going to get healed back up and does have the well to tap from as well. And now it's going to be 2 temples. One in the mid top and one over in this bot lane. But the lane pressure is in favor. But Keldorn gonna go forward. Gonna get taunted right now as well. And they have the protection. Rain of Vengeance gonna land as well. But it's just onto Tunley. Jay Trindra gonna get poked a decent chunk there. As they do have just a couple more abilities thrown out towards both these teams. But not enough that the healers aren't able to get it back. But now Keldorn looking in the backline once again. But they do have the taunt, and they're able to get it onto Jay Trindra, but no follow-up. Keldorn and the Lurking Arm both able to prevent them. Now the Phoenix takes so much damage, and Orion's trying to get healed back up by Cold Monkey, and will get hit in the end as Jay Trindra able to get that kill. And now they have the Mosh Pit onto all 3, but the Light Bomb going to land back. Tunley gonna get healed up, but Cold Monkey gonna get hit by the drag and will get taken down. The Gust comes out, but it's a bit too late. 3-0 for Trial by Annihilation. And they're gonna have full control over this bot side. They've already taken down all, well, they're gonna get all 3 forts here as the final fort will get finished off. All 3 of their forts are low as well, but there's no longer any temple shots left, as they will get a little bit of extra poke towards these cannon towers. Now Gorham looking to play over on this top side, but Secret Swift will be able to get the push into them, as Jay Trindra and Kawaii Bunny gonna be taking their own bruiser camp during this. It'll be matched by CCS, but that was a big fight for them to get, as they have a 1.5 level lead. They just got their level 16 talents, but luckily for CCS, there's no objectives to fight over. The boss not gonna respawn for 2 more minutes. Every camp's been taken. The siege camps are gonna spawn soon. That's true. And with no forts available, it's a little bit harder to try and utilize this level 16 advantage. Now they're trying to set up a play over on this top side, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to work quite yet. But they are going to start this push. They have their bruiser camp to push with, and that could be something they look for. But because of that, their siege camp is available, and Orion and the entire side of CCS going to blow it up in about 1 or 2 seconds. It's Keldorn looking for the play, and will get hit by the Chastise. So they're able to steal it and back away and get a couple of free hits towards this fort as well, until they get distracted by the minion wave. But now Gorham just going to be tanking up these this bruiser camp, going to clear it away. But now Secret Swift comes in on the backline. They have the Trump, they have the Silence, and the Crushing Jaw is not going to land. Tunley not going to be able to utilize that ability, but Keldorn looking for the stun and able to get onto 2. Leap of Faith gonna get utilized as well, but it doesn't matter. So much damage is up there. And now Cold Monkey is getting hit on top. Living Bomb is there as well. Keldorn should have the slide and will have that with the face mount. Cold Monkey gonna get taken down even lower and will get finished off here. And that's gonna be another 2-0 for Trial by Annihilation, as they're starting to press forward. And even that little bit of Flame Strike, everything adds up on Sky Temple. Everything speeds up the ending. Level 16 just hit over for CCS. And that may have been a close fight if they had it at the start. But with the talent advantage that Trial by Annihilation have gotten themselves, it was a good victory for them. And now Secret Swift walking forward, trying to prevent this fort from getting taken down. But it will still go down. They're just ignoring the Dahaka. And that's going to be at least the very first fort taken for CCS. But now their top lane wall getting hit by the lasers. Still has half its shots available, so should be able to finish off this wall and get a decent amount of poke over onto this keep as well. But now Tunley trying to take up the fort. Gonna get taken out quite low, but the mid lane fort will go down. Now Orion, they're all here. Keldorn looking for the angle, same with Secret Swift. The Dread is going to land just to do a little bit of poke damage, as Tunley is getting healed up by Code Monkey. And in fact, not going to reset at all. Code Monkey has more than enough healing to keep it alive. Now their top lane keep at around 1/4 HP. So TBA, they definitely lost in terms of lane pressure, because they did lose 2 whole forts just for some damage on the top keep. But again, any damage you get onto these keeps is going to matter, and the damage itself could even matter more than the push, especially when you're just taking the boss off cooldown. TBA, once again, they are here, they are ready to take this, and CCS, they're aiming to take down this top fort just to help even out the waves. But this boss camp is going to deal damage to their base, and they need to reset and deal with it ASAP. Now they're all pinging back. Gorham could be left to deal with it, but as Orion will get cancelled on the reset. And Secret Swift is also shoving out the mid lane. They don't have the talent advantage for this quite yet. They're still 19.5, so No level 20 quite yet, but with these structures, with a couple bits of the passive XP, could get level 20 during this push. But now the boss is slowly getting cleared away, going to use its stomp. And the issue when you have Orphea is it's hard to have more consistent DPS onto it, because Orphea relies on hitting heroes. Now Celadorn gonna be there, Light Bomb gonna get utilized. As the Ankers are also getting thrown out. Tunley looking for the taunt, not able to land it onto anyone, as the boss is starting to get quite low, but so is this keep. But now they have the Lurking Arm, and they have the Moshpit on 3. Flame Strike, Phoenix over top. Cold Mike is going to get taken down, and it's a 2-0, 3-0 for TBA, and they could end the game. They could try and push here. Secret Swift looking for the play. Tunley gonna get stuck, gonna get hit by the Cyclone. Will get hit by the Rain of Vengeance, but it is under protection, but it doesn't matter. The Flame Strike's there. 4-0, and we're going to a game number 3. Now that game definitely wasn't as close as game number 1, at least once TBA got the advantage. The early fights were definitely back and forth. But such as Sky Temple, if you fall behind, it is really difficult to get back in place. But luckily for us, that does mean there will be more hot action. There will be that game number 3 coming up. But before we head to a break, one more time, I would like to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Match Masters. Match Masters is a competitive match 3 puzzle game. Play one-on-one against your opponent on the same board. Block him, get in their way, do whatever you need to win. Download for free today, and every download, every goal you hit that you see on the widget helps me and supports the streamer a lot. So would definitely appreciate that. But with that, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, it'll be game number 3. Don't go anywhere. And we are here for map number 3, the decider between Trial by Annihilation and Crimson Cyber Squad. And as you see, we've already had a ton of fighting games 1 and 2, but now we're in the battlefield of eternity. And I don't think there's any map besides maybe Brax's Holdout where fighting is more encouraged. This is a very exciting map to end the series on, and I can't wait to see what these two teams draft, how they play, and how they fight. And definitely a little bit of hesitation coming out for the first couple bans. And I can kind of understand that, to be honest. I think both teams haven't really... how do I put this? Both teams have had close games. I mean, game number 1, TBA was only lost by literally 1 health left on the core. And then game 2, the early game, was very back and forth as well. So I think it's difficult to decide what to pull away because both teams have shown they can fight with a lot of heroes. You cannot ban away everything. And prioritizing it can definitely be difficult. Now we see the Brightwing going to get banned away by Trial by Annihilation. And Li Ming going to get banned away by Crimson Cyber Squad. Definitely different bans coming out right now. I mean, the Brightwing, that was the ban from game number 2. They're going to try and get rid of the Code Monkey special. Now the Vala also going to get banned away, as both teams seem to be just trying to remove a lot of the more standard racing heroes. Vala definitely very powerful, taking down the Immortal with the Hungering Arrow build. Li Ming can take it down over the wall and very quickly as well. So 2 of the more standard picks are definitely going to be removed. And we're going to take away a third one, Raynor. Not picked too often, but is really fast at taking down the Immortals. Now, Zul'jin's not too bad at it either. Same with, what's the name? The Greymane. Greymane's also very quick, but we haven't seen either of those 2 heroes picked yet, so not quite sure if it's something either of these 2 teams play. But Joanna is going to get through the draft this time, going to get locked in by Celadorn. And interestingly enough, had the option for Garrosh as well, and we saw how strong Celadorn Garrosh was in game 1. But decides Joanna's more important. And for Battlefield of Eternity, I kind of get it. Being able to control an area, being able to control a zone is incredibly important. And that's where Joanna really shines. Now, first 2 picks going to be coming through. And it's going to be the Zul'jin and Varian locked in. Once again for CCS. I say once again, Varian once again. Zul'jin was actually last picked by TBA on J Trinja. And I should also note, Secret Swift is going to be playing in game number 3 as well. So it is going to be 1 game to Sparhawk and 2 to Secret Swift coming out in this series. And now it's going to be Anduin and Jaina locked in for Kawaii Bunny and Flippy 8. Now, Jaina has been banned away as well by Crimson Cyber Squad, as Trial by Annihilation is only picking blonde heroes, I guess, in the first phase. I wonder if they're also going to take up Chromie. Technically, it could work in this composition, but I digress. Next phase of bans is going to be starting out now. No healer picked yet for CCS. No offlaner picked for either of these 2 teams. And the only thing that's shown extra is the extra DPS coming out from the side of Trial by Annihilation. Now, Artanis also going to get banned away by CCS. Now, that's a very powerful hero in terms of racing for the Immortals. Does a lot of damage to them, especially with that level 1 talent. They're able to be online immediately. I believe it's 50% bonus damage. I think it's called Exterminator. I don't remember the exact name of the talent, but it's 50% bonus damage towards neutrals. And the Stukov going to be the final ban from Trial by Annihilation. But now they still need an offlaner, a DPS, and a healer. But now Gorham going to lock in the Sonya. So they're definitely looking to fight. Sonya, very much a fighting hero. And Battlefield of Eternity, you don't need a double soak. You just need to control 1 lane. And Sonya, very powerful for that. And once the teamfight comes in, is also very powerful for that. Now, Code Monkey is going to lock in the Rhaegar. Was banned away in game number 2. but we'll be able to play it this time. Code Monkey playing 3 different heroes this series. First the Brightwing, then the Anduin, and now finally the Rhaegar coming through. Now final 2 picks will be coming out by Trial by Annihilation. And I'm wondering what they're going to pick specifically in the off lane. What are they going to decide to match into Sonya with? And it is going to be the Thrall, another fighting offlaner. Also, not very good at double soaking, and in fact is commonly played as a melee assassin now. But for Battlefield of Eternity, you don't need a double soak. You just need to win 1 lane. And Thrall can definitely do that. And Greymane, as I mentioned earlier, very fast at killing the Immortals as well. Definitely going to help out a lot in the racing department. And now the final pick for Crimson Cyber Squad, I think they could definitely use with another DPS. And they're going to pick the Junkrat for Orion. That's going to give a lot of poke damage, a lot of over-the-wall DPS. Not going to help too much with the racing, but with the team fight, this Junkrat's a very solid pick. I'm not sure how to count this. I do think Trial by Annihilation will have a naturally faster race. But on the other hand, I think CCS is going to do a pretty good job at the race as well. Slightly fairer than for the team fights. So it's really going to come down to the play and seeing which style wins for game number 3. Well, we are here. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 3. I was wondering why my overlay looked so off. It's because I had my in-game overlay instead of my draft overlay. And somehow, as a mistake, I nearly ended the stream. We're not going to talk about how that happened or how that even works. But what's important is we didn't end it. And we do get to watch game number 3 between Trial by Annihilation and Crimson Cyber Squad. And I'm really excited to see this third and final game. Both these teams have picked team fighting heroes. They're looking to fight. They're looking to get pickoffs. They're not looking to just push and call it a day. Very welcome change after a map like Sky Temple. But now they're both walking forward. It is going to be 4v4 this time, so only 8 of the players as the offlaners are grouping up towards the top lane immediately. Now Ryan just throwing a couple of grenades right into the wall, and there we go. First structure damage for Orion. And that's why he picked the Junkrat. No, I'm just kidding. But now Tunley going to take a little bit of poke, and once again, I will remind people, Tunley, not a real hero until level 4. So they will need to play it a little bit back, a little bit safe. But once they're able to get that extra bit of stun, should be more powerful. The Chastise does that, but they're able to throw Jay Trinder back. But with the Leap of Faith, will be okay. Now the first wave is going to get cleared away. And in the top side, the trading is already happening. And I believe Secret Swift should win this out in the early game. I'm still not super familiar with every offlane matchup. I will be paying a little bit of attention, but we'll try our best to figure that out. Keldorn able to get 2 in the Condemn as Xrix is just autoing. But now Jay Trinder going to get hit into the backline once again, but able to hide in the bush. As Tunley going to get hit by the Chastise, so no follow-up is going to come through. But now Code Monkey's starting to get low. Jay Trinder will be able to get the kill. Now Tunley's still trying to run away, but has the Protect. The Blizzard not going to be enough damage or slow. But first blood going to Trial by Annihilation. And now Keldorn and Flippy 8, they're going to reset. They're going to be able to get their health back. And since it's a 2-lane map, it doesn't really matter if you have to reset a bit early. They're not going to miss any soak. As Orion is considering starting over on this bot side siege camp. They do have the pressure right now in the lane, and they are starting to roam down. Level 4 is still not there, though, so it will be a bit difficult. Trial by Annihilation, they saw it coming. But now Keldorn gonna get slowed down. Jay Trinder going right in, but Jay Trinder gonna get knocked to the backline once again, and will get healed up by Kawaii Bunny, so they will be okay there. But now the auto attacks are still coming forward. They're on to the point. Tunley gonna try using the protection. Jay Trinder starting to get so low, but will have the Leap of Faith. But now Keldorn's starting to get low, and the healing is just too much. But Code Monkey able to get the charge with Xtrix, as they're able to get the first kill back for themselves and the siege camp. Level 4 is now here. Tunley still hasn't selected the taunt, but surely it will be the taunt. If it's shout build. But no, it's not. It is going to be taunt build. I got myself excited there for just a little bit. But now Gorham, sorry, is going to be pushing away the top side as the bruiser camp is going to get started by both the teams. Going to be Keldorn and Jay Tringer just taking their bruiser camp, and all 4 members of Crimson Cyber Squad going to lock in the bruiser camp for their end. But because of that, they're going to have a little bit of a push over in the bot side. But now Tunley looking over towards the top side. They see Secret Swift, or do they? No, Secret Swift has hidden. Now they see that the Ancient Spear has already been utilized. They could look for the play. They have the trap. And Tunley looking for a play. Able to see Flippy 8. Are they able to get the taunt on Flippy 8? A little bit of DPS is all that's needed. Concussion might not actually going to land. And is getting healed up, but will get finished off. Jay Tringer also now needs to run, as Gorham is also there in the front. Concussion Mine just going to pull them away. Took a little bit too long for it to arm, unfortunately. With a better mine, if they bought better products on the junk cut, they would have been okay. But now they're starting the race. They're already freely DPSing onto this Immortal. And they're able to get the halftime. As the other Immortal barely even gets touched at all. But now Tunley looking to play aggressive. Definitely positioning quite up front. And it's a pretty good spawn for them. This should be pretty safe for them to just finish off. Now they are all blinded as they do start the DPS. They have a little bit of an advantage here. They do have the taunt onto Keldorn, but Keldorn just going to get pushed away. But because of that, they're actually closing in on the race a little bit. So even if they will lose the race on the side of CCS, but it's not going to be a big shield. It's going to be 3k shield, as it will go towards the bot side. Just a little bit more poke damage done to the cannon towers over on the top side to the wall. And already at 6 stacks of You Want Axe for Extrix, and a decent amount of stacks for Frostbite. And once that Ice Block ability does come through, Flippy 8 is going to be a lot safer when getting jumped upon by Tunley. With the Immortal already hitting onto this wall, going to be able to take at least one of these cannon towers out, as they do get Jay Tringer into the backline. But the Leap of Faith is going to be there. The taunt instead will go down onto Keldorn, and Keldorn gonna get knocked back, but just slightly gonna get knocked back into their team. They're able to finish off the wall, and considering how low shielded that Immortal was, that's very good. They had the extra potential, and they got a couple more stacks of You Want Axe and a couple of Lion's Maw as well. So if Tunley's able to keep stacking that could be a play for them. Now the Siege Camp is going to respawn on this bot side, so that's a play they could look towards. Now over on the top side, neither side really able to get the push, though it does seem like Gorham's had a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the original push. Now Tunley waiting in the brush, trying to use that Lion's Maw, but Keldorn trying to position forward as they want to get started on the Siege Camp, and they are going to get started on the Siege Camp. Interesting that they started this, considering it is 3v4, but now they're going to be able to jump onto Flippy 8. Flippy 8 is going to get poked down, and it looks like they may have just done that to kind of force a fight or see if they can sneak it, because Jay Tringer was up here taking the other Siege Camp that whole time. So 1-for-1 in terms of camps. No one's really going to go down. No major cooldowns have been blown either. Now Extric's going to get autoed a little bit, and Extric's going to get hit. But in the backline, Keldorn's starting to get hit as well. Just a lot of autos and a lot of abilities getting thrown both ways, as Extric's starting to get a little bit low. Flippy 8 dealing so much damage with that Blizzard, as they will be able to defend into the Siege Camp. And especially when there's no wall, it's actually easier to defend against, because you have a bit more room to kite backwards if you need it. Same time, Gorham gonna start taking down this Siege Camp as well. Not too much damage is going to be dealt back towards the wall. So we do have a little bit of a reset over in the offlane. But now the Immortals are spawning in a few seconds. Keldorn walking up with a condemn. But now they have Kawaii Bunny, but not able to land the taunt quite yet. Now it's going to come through. The Kawaii Bunny is going to be okay. But the Immortal is the blue team's here. Tunley trying to run away and won't be able to. Will get finished off by Trial by Annihilation. Now Gorham is the next one to get jumped upon, trying to spin away. We'll have a little bit of healing coming up from Code Monkey, as Keldorn will land the condemn, but no fall. The Concussion Mine able to split the two sides. But it does seem like Crimson Cyber Squad has given up on the first half. They are down Tunley. They don't have a tank, but they will take their Bruiser Camp, so they will be able to get a little big burst of XP, and they will be able to reset just as the second half starts. But now where will they spawn? And it is going to be both sides getting the safe option for themselves. But level 10 is very close. And in fact, CCS will hit it now. Now they're walking forward. They're trying to be the aggressors. And they know this Bruiser Camp hasn't been taken yet. They could even play for that. Tunley is going to get in the way. They're able to get the stun. Leap going to get utilized, but Leap of Faith going to save Jay Trindra. Now they're fighting over this Bruiser Camp. That's where the real trading is happening. And with the Riptire going to zone them away, they will be able to steal that Bruiser Camp as well. And now they can come back and get started onto this Immortal. They're still losing the race, but there's no one able to race back for Trial by Annihilation. And CCS may be able to get it in their favor. Tunley is hiding behind them, sees them, looking at who? Flippy is going to be the target, but the Condemn over the backline. Taznico's gonna get used. Same with the Ancestral Healing, and they're just trying to keep Xrix alive. Gonna get hit by the Ring of Frost. Now it's the Dome once again, and they will be able to take down 2 of the members of CCS. And now Orion trying to stay alive as well. They do have the taunt on a Secret Swift to protect as well. And now Gorham just trying to spin to win in the backline. Is able to actually do a decent amount of damage, but Kawaii Bunny is there for the healing. Secret Swift gonna get knocked into the backline, but there's just not enough DPS. There's too much healing coming out of Kawaii Bunny, and Trial by Annihilation will be able to bring it back and take the Immortal. And this is a later game Immortal, so it's going to be able to deal a bit more damage, and it's going to have a higher shield. Now they do have the taunt onto Jay Trindra, and the leap will get hit into the backline, and they're onto the healer. Kawaii Bunny is going to get taken down, and now Xrix just autoing onto the front line. Keladorn gonna get hit by the Twin Cleave as well. Concussion Mine not gonna get blown, but Jay Trindra is in a bad spot. Riptire going to get the final hit as Keladorn will be able to survive. But because they're able to get those 2 kills, they will have an easier time trying to shove down this Immortal, trying to DPS it before it can get onto their structures. And now it's already onto it, but in fact, they're actually trying to push a little bit with the wave they had. But now they're going to start DPSing onto this Immortal. The Immortal already going to lose the shield and should be able to finish off this wall, or at the very least deal a good chunk of damage to it. But definitely will not be able to reach the Immortal. Xrix and Orion have more than enough DPS for it. The blind is going to come out and slow it down just a little bit. So maybe 1 or 2 little love taps. 1. And 1 more. As the Concussion Mine has been used in the backline, but now Flippy 8 still there and doesn't have the taunt. But the Blessed Shield is going to land on all 4. Same with the Condemn. Now Ancestral Healing is going to be able to heal Tunley, but Xrix will get taken down. And now they have the taunt. No taunt available, but the Dome is going to come out with the Concussion Mine onto Kawaii Bunny. Will be more than enough. They have the tap and will be okay for now. It's going to be a 1-0 for Trial by Annihilation. The fort is still alive, and now the Siege Camp is going to be their prize for it. Now, meanwhile, Secret Swift and Gorham just trying to trade into each other, but Secret Swift always going to win those trades. I was curious about it before, but watching their trade patterns, it is definitely Thrall favored in the one-on-one. But now they're going to be pushing in. They have a full wave, and they also have the Siege Camp shoving in straight into the fort. There's no wall to give them a little bit of extra space as the Twin Cleave dealing a lot of damage over to the backline. Xrix now just going to be autoing it down, and they should be able to clear away the Siege Camp. About half HP left on the fort. It's still decently healthy for now, so nothing to worry about quite yet. Now the Bruiser Camp's 12 seconds until it spawns for the side of CCS. Now the Immortal is spawning as well. Now they do have the taunt. They're jumping onto Keladorn, but now the Ring of Frost is going to land on everyone. Same with the Blessed Shield. And they're just going to trade 2-0 so far. I say trade, but it's just a free hit. And now Tunley also going to go down. Xrix going to get 1 extra auto out. But that's a 3-0 for Trial by Annihilation just before the Immortal spawn once again. So now Xrix and Gorham, they're going to go back and they're going to start taking their Bruiser Camp. So at the very least, they're going to have something. They're going to have a natural push happening. I believe this goes to the top side? Question mark? Yeah, I think so. But now the Immortal has spawned, and this is one that normally they'd be able to defend easily due to the spawn. But because 2 of their members are gone, they're just going to have to give up the halftime and maybe look to fight afterwards. There's no talent advantage. The XP is actually very close between these 2 teams. Gosh, mine's still hanging out here, though. Funny to see that still there. And now it is going to spawn towards the top side. Tunley walking forward. Gorham is here as well. They could look for the backline. Riptire gonna get utilized just to split the fight. Now they have the taunt onto Secret Swift. Gorham still looking on the backline, able to land the Ancient Spear on the Kawaii Bunny, and just spinning to winning on the backline. The Earthquake is slowing them down, and such a big stun onto the backline. And Ancestral Healing will come down. Ring of Frost, Concussion Mine as well. Keladorn starting to get low, but will get saved. Gorham at 70 HP, able to back away. Now protection coming out from both these 2 teams. And somehow, during all that, no one goes down. But the HP advantage of the positioning is in favor of Trial by Annihilation, as they will have a full HP Immortal pushing out this bot side. And with all 5 of their members up, they should be able to take this fort. It's a 13-minute almost Immortal now, as they finish off the Bruiser camp as well. So they're going to have a double push coming out of the bot side. Now the Immortal going to go straight to the bot side, as the Ryan, Code Monkey, and really the entire roster of CCS is here to start clearing it away. Gorm ready as well. Leap, still 15-second cooldown, as most major cooldowns are going to be down for now. And now they're aiming towards this Immortal, but it's hard to approach. When it's in ranged form, it's so much harder to DPS it down. Xrx trying to get a little bit of damage over in the backline with a Queen Cleave. But now it's already at half HP. The wall is gone. Blessed Shield lands over in the backline, though. Keldorn looking to play aggressively. Orion going to get jumped on and will get finished off. Leap in the meanwhile will trade Keldorn back. Ring of Frost lands on all 4. And now they're just trying to auto Secret Swift. Gonna get spin upon, but the DPS is there. They get all 5 members. The shield on the Immortal is still up, and this will be a big push coming out for Trial by Annihilation. And with the Immortal, potentially if they have enough damage, they could look to end. I don't know if they have it, though. And now all 4 members gonna be just hitting onto this keep. They have the level 16 talents as well, and that's not gonna be coming up for CCS anytime soon. And it does look like they want to end. 7 seconds till Orion spawns, and then about 15 seconds for the rest of the squad. And now they've already broken the shield. They're going to start DPSing. This is going to be close. Riptire is coming through, going to buy a little bit of time, but it doesn't seem like it's possible. Trial by Annihilation going to win game number 3. And there you have it. Trial by Annihilation able to win the series 2-1 over CCS. But you gotta give congratulations where it's due. CCS won their first map of the season as well. This shows they are improving, and they're going to be in a position to compete later on. It's still early in the season, so anything can happen. But Trial by Annihilation will walk away with a very earned 3 points towards their Division E. Now with that, I'm gonna see if any of them are available for an interview. Let me just give them a little ping. Yeah, give me one moment. So as I wait for an answer, potentially someone will join me, potentially they won't. But either way, that was an incredibly close series. Game number 1 especially could have gone either way. Really, up until the very last second, either of those 2 teams could have definitely won it. So I'll just wait a couple minutes, see if anyone from Trial by Annihilation does come in. Oh, and we do have someone. Hello, give me one moment. I don't believe the stream can hear you quite yet. Oh, you're fine. All right. They should be able to hear you now.
Awesome. Sorry for any background noise. Hi, Twitch.
Yeah, and I am joined by Kawaii Bunny.
Yep.
So,
hello.
Congratulations on your win, 2-1. How does it feel?
Such a good night. These matches were awesome. I'm so pumped. I really thought we had that first one, and they took it from us. I ran out of mana at the end, and I couldn't bubble, and legit almost cried. I was so sad.
I mean, to be fair, there was 2 minutes straight of just everyone throwing out every single ability.
I know. It was insane. It was intense. It was very intense. That first match was so good.
Yeah,
I know,
honestly,
I'm not even mad I lost.
yeah, but that could have just been the Anduin nerfs coming into play. They did nerf the mana costs, right?
Yeah, that was my problem. I literally ran out of mana. I was so sad.
Well, you still managed to claw back in game number 2 and 3, and game number 2 and 3 definitely weren't as close. You definitely seemed like you had a lot more influence in that game. So how does that feel? Was there anything you tried to do different in games 2 and 3, or did it just kind of work out that way?
We were focusing more on not grouping so close together. It really kind of screwed us in the first one a lot, especially those darn sand traps, or slowing sands. Oh my goodness, those were hyper annoying.
Yeah, Chromie, definitely one of those heroes super difficult to play into, especially in those choke points.
Yeah. Excuse me. The Sky Temple on the second one, I suggested that one for you because I was watching one of your casts and you're like, no one's done Sky Temple yet. And I was like, bet.
Yeah, no, that like I actually even shouted that out during just before the second game. I
Oh,
think out of
nice.
around 120 or 130 casts, that was my second time casting Sky Temple. I didn't even know what the temples were called.
Yeah, I was watching one of your Div B casts, the Daddy Cat Lounge, the thingy, and he said something about nobody takes Sky Temple. I was like, okay, he's casting. I bet.
Nice. Well, it definitely worked out for you. And I
It
gotta say,
did.
the confidence to take that Sand Golem twice, like those bosses, there seemed to be
Hmm.
no hesitation at all. Was that a kind of a
It was a conversation.
was a
We've
conversation? Okay.
been talking about it. Yeah, yeah. That was Kel. He made the call on that one. Calador.
Yeah, well, it
Both
definitely
times.
worked out.
Yeah, it worked out great. I wasn't sure about Sky Temple because when we've been practicing it, it doesn't pop up a lot. I mean, we not played it a lot, but it worked out.
Well, if you haven't been practicing it, then they haven't been practicing it, so it works out both
Okay,
ways.
they worked in our favor. They were definitely fun matches, all three of them.
Yeah, and especially for that final map. And I know obviously you play the healer role, but I was wondering what was the logic behind picking the Thrall for Swift?
Um, I don't think I heard any specific logic. At one point, she was showing Artanis, and then before the Artanis ban, it was a Thrall, and I think I missed that conversation. So you and I know the same.
Fair
I'm not
enough.
sure. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, just don't tell Hoku that Artanis was almost picked but not picked.
Almost, but technically, when it was banned, she was no longer showing it. So
Yeah.
she had already switched. I'm just not sure why.
Well, with that, I have one final question. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
I have fans,
Of course you have fans. Everyone has fans. NGS, we're all each other's fans. Always have been, always will
right?
be.
One big dysfunctional family. Hell yeah. I'm not really sure what to say. Thanks for watching, guys, and cheering us on, I guess, and hope to have more people watching again on our other ones.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming by. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Heck yeah. Catch you later.
Bye bye. And with that, it's going to be the end of our stream for today. Now, I'm going to take you over to Ohms Terrific, one of our newer casters in the NGS. But before I do, one final shout out to Match Masters. Download Match Masters, help support this stream, and I'm already casting a lot, but I'll try to cast even more, even though I don't even think that's possible right now. But with that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow night for a double cast. I hope to see you there. Good night.